Welcome to Biz Wire. As the Chinese government prepares to make a leadership transition this week, the country faces conflicting pressures as it strives toward economic growth while wanting to reduce carbon emissions. While the country's new leaders have declared ecological progress will be a priority, analysts at a World Resources Institute-led press teleconference said China must deal with a series of interlinked challenges: economic prosperity, energy security, mitigating climate change, and social unrest in order to make environmental strides. Analysts said, however, that any changes probably won't be seen until after 2015, when the country's current 5-year environmental plan ends. Melanie Hart, a policy analyst for the Center for American Progress, said the 2011 to 2015 plan is dedicated to move in a low-carbon direction, and the policy is not likely to change much midway through. China has been making progress on its targets to increase the non-fossil fuel share of primary energy consumption to 11.4% by 2015, with analysts estimating non-fossil fuels accounted for between 9 and 9.9% of energy use in 2012. Still, Julio Friedman, energy technology chief at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in the United States and technical program manager for the U.S.-China Clean Energy Research Center for Advanced Coal Technology, said to meet China's energy needs, coal consumption will still continue to grow and grow exponentially. Friedman said he expects a 50 to 60% increase in China's coal consumption in the coming years. Ai-Lun Yang, a senior associate at the World Resources Institute, said that China's demand for coal depends largely on the rate of economic growth, though other factors like regulation and environmental policy will also play a role. To help hold the line on fossil fuel emissions and pollution, Chinese officials have proposed a carbon tax, which would create costs for companies who emit carbon emissions. But Yang said that officials will more likely expand the resource tax to cover coal instead. Now, Bloomberg reported that a government researcher said that China will wait until after this year to introduce a tax on carbon, deferring to concern that economic growth might suffer. Jia Kang, head of research at the Ministry of Finance, said the nation eventually expects to introduce a levy of 5 to 10 yuan, equivalent to 80 cents to $1.61 per ton of carbon. Jia said the carbon tax is still in internal discussions, but admitted there is obvious opposition without identifying the opponents or interest groups. According to a 2009 paper from researchers at the NDRC, a carbon tax starting at 20 yuan, or about $3, was the minimum needed to help reduce emissions. Despite the delay to a direct carbon tax, China is still proceeding with plans to set up pilot carbon trading programs in 7 major cities and provinces. The system will regulate up to 1 billion tons of emissions by 2015, making it the world's biggest cap-and-trade program after the one in Europe. Melanie Hart did say that China recognizes the very serious pressure it is under now that the country is the world's largest greenhouse gas emitter. While China's leaders may not be directly accountable to its people, they are nevertheless cautious and sensitive to issues that could cause social unrest. Just as in the United States, a new tax on emissions would be unpopular with consumers in China, who are already battling inflation that many analysts believe is higher than the official 3% rate.